Yes. So, yeah, good evening, Sohil. So nice to meet you. And first of all, thanks for accepting my invite.
The pleasure
Yes,
is all mine.
thank you so much. So why don't you have a quick introduction about yourself?
So, yeah, if I start from the beginning, I am a computer engineer by degree. I did it back in 2010. Uh, then I worked for a couple of years. Then I went to US to do my master's, and I specialized in data science, data mining. Uh, Worked there for a couple of years in a bank, again in a decision science department of Santander Bank. Then came back to India. Did so I when I was studying over there, I was also teaching a lot of students, graduate students, in my time there. So I always liked teaching. Uh, so I used to teach a lot from programming, physics, maths, chem, operations management, etc., etc. So when I came back to India, I was not very keen to join corporate world. So I started my own company, uh, which basically did digital marketing, social media marketing. Uh, I used to teach also engineering students here in India also. But then things didn't turn out that well, and unfortunately, my account got hacked, and I had like 1 lakh followers back in 2018. Uh,
Wow.
uh, but it got hacked, and I was not able to recover it. We didn't had that much support. So then I got a call from one of the tech company, right? And it kind of uh, was a dream come true, kind of, because you're working in a startup in a new industry which is growing, and and it is something that I love, teaching. So it was a good combination. So I started my basically EdTech journey almost 6 years back. I'm still into EdTech, uh, but I'm also very much fond of AI. And my journey with AI basically starts in my late teens during my engineering days. We had a subject, and there was we were working on problems on Turing machines, right? And I am also a history buff, so I just tried to Google it, who's Turing and what he did, and I just realized that he was a major figure in World War II, who break codes for the Nazi from the Nazi Germany and all that. And basically he had given a great definition of AI, that uh, there were researches at that time, but what he suggested that just as a human being is growing from a child to an adult, his brain is developing. So we
Right.
need to apply that principle, and uh, so basically he termed it as a child machine. And my final year engineering project was a chatbot back in 2010, and we named it as a child machine. Uh, so yeah, my love from AI is
Started there,
like
right?
from there in 2010. So
Okay.
right now it's a golden age. I feel like since past 2 years when Chat GPT came on board, right, with the product,
Right.
a lot of things have changed, and it's exciting times.
Right. So I used to have this kind of a difference in common people. Whenever you are saying that I love teaching,
Hmm.
people are thinking about, if you, I mean, how do you manage money? I mean, how do you earn money if you teach? I mean, it is just to forget about the technology, the
Hmm.
edtech or startup or something.
Hmm.
Okay, I love teaching, and I'm just interested in teaching, and I'm just giving training. If you see these kind of things, it is a very very common. The common man's perspective is that those people are earning very very less money. So
Hmm.
how do you see this perspective?
No, I act so again it's about time. You have to look it into the context of time, right? Before,
Right,
the time of YouTube and all that, the teaching profession was kind of, in India especially, we focus more on private coaching and all that. And so and very difficult to access everyone. But because of internet and products like YouTube and others, uh, education has been democratized, right? Because now you have access to a lot of people. Now it's up to you to how you can reach those people. And we can see so many people on YouTube who are teaching courses or and also have their paid version of their courses, right? They give you certain knowledge for free, and then you like it, you can enroll for an advanced course. So I think this is a great time to be in a teaching profession, and especially because of a tech revolution that has happened for past 10 years, I would say, because of the great advancement in technology. Teachers are getting paid good. I mean,
Right,
even I know what we are paying to our teachers right now. So it's
right,
it's a good time, and you have tools now, and especially with AI coming into the picture, uh, it's like content creation is so easy now. You can
exactly.
create a lot of material for your students, personalized materials for your students. So it's
Hmm.
a great time to be in teaching profession, no doubt.
Exactly. I mean, there is everywhere, you can see every nook and corner. There is a coach for everything.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. There are so many divisions, subdivisions, you can find anything, you can find easily over online.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So how the journey started from the AI until I think you started, in 2010, and then you slowly move into the technological part, and then right now you are into Gen AI and Agentic AI, and I'm just following up your newsletters and all those things.
Right,
So
right.
what would be the differentiation, and what made you through these kind of things?
So, if I tell you, when I was in college, right, there were a lot of subjects, but the subject that made me fell in love was database, right? As an engineering student, I used to love the SQLs, RDBMS concepts, and things like that. And when I graduated, I also did my AI project, right? So in AI project also, you are basically working with a lot of data, right? So it kind of organically, I loved working with data. And in my couple of years post my graduation, I was again creating databases, creating data warehousing, and for further analysis and all that. So then when I went for my master's, I tried to find a program in data science, and I got a good Oklahoma State University with focus on data science and marketing. So from that, uh, because I believe AI and data kind of go hand in hand, because the most underlying thing that fuels AI is data and
Yeah.
concepts, statistical concepts, data science concepts. Those are the fundamental building blocks of AI. So it's kind of a natural progression from being into a field related to analytics, data science, data mining, to kind of naturally pivot to AI. And the stage at which AI was 2 years before, I mean, before the Chat GPT, was like you
Mhm.
read it somewhere in academics that, oh, in future you'll be able to do this, do that, and suddenly OpenAI changed the game, right? And now you
Right.
see a lot of possibilities. So I think right now it's data science and AI is the great career to be in, and AI is kind of a natural progression for anyone who is in data science right now.
Right. So this question is coming, commonly from teachers and also especially school teachers. I have one division called
Hmm.
Ramanujam AI Lab. So
Hmm.
this entity is just giving the service on setting up their labs in their schools and their campuses, and then giving the training. So that is my the important services in this. The teachers used to ask me, including the principal or head of institutions, if they started study artificial intelligence in the schooling,
Hmm.
what they can study during their college time. Okay. I mean, maybe and we know that how the evolution is going,
Hmm.
but still this question is really meaningful, and also we are in this we have the responsibility to explain to them what they can learn in their schooling and what they can learn in their college life, and what is the differentiation, and in the sense that what they are thinking in their mind, because the AI definition is changes, people to people.
Right.
Everywhere you go, I know AI and I know everything about AI. That's what people will be starting the conversation. And
Right.
if you just started asking in depth, maybe they will write up their own story like ChatGPT.
Right.
Okay, so they have some kind of a training previously, and with that training, they will be just giving you telling you a story.
Right.
So in this perspective, I mean, they are asking questions, they are having some kind of assumptions, because they are responsible to give the responses or the answers to the parents,
Hmm.
like every student, child is having mobile, laptop, and
Hmm.
all these kinds of things. They are always into screens. Why you are also setting up a AI lab, and what is the use? And they have multiple directions of questions. How do you, because you are the right person, I guess, you are in the right
Sorry, I lost you for last sentence. Can you repeat?
Okay, yes, yeah. So the people are there, the parents, teachers have their own questions. If
Hmm.
their kid is just accessing screens everywhere, then what would be, their learning curve? So
Hmm.
are they, more creative, or just dependent? I mean, there will be more dependency on their learning part. So that is the question I used to get.
So my view is that AI is not there to teach you everything in one day. I mean,
Yeah,
Rome was not built in a day, right? So
right,
your learning is not just because AI is going to give you a lot of information, you gonna be like a PhD level while you graduate your school, like 10th grade. What I think that AI can help you, especially like agentic AI and all that, is to deepen your knowledge and to kind of personalize your learning journey. So there are many companies who have. So we all know Netflix, right? Netflix has a special recommendation engine based on your viewing preference, based on your liking, certain kind of content, films, right? So they suggest what kind of movie you want to watch. Similarly, using AI, suppose someone who is very smart, who is able to remember things, it's easy for him. But there are students who take time to learn. They want to kind of get into details. Why this? Why that? Right? So AI can basically learn your pattern of studying, your syllabus, how you are approaching it based on the quiz you are taking, the feedback. They can basically optimize your learning journey, right? So
yeah,
AI is not about learning fast, but AI is about quality learning and deepening your knowledge based on the tool. So even before AI, right, ChatGPT and all that, we had Google search, right? Uh, when I was doing my engineering, internet was little scarce, right? Back in 2006, 2007. So we used to refer to hard books to find something. Now people have everything on YouTube. So even if there was no AI, there's already a lot of content on YouTube and other channels where people can learn topics in depth. So
right,
AI is not going to like just fasten your learning cycle, but it is going to create a quality learning cycle for you and
right,
uh, pacing it according to your level of learning, the way you can grasp your knowledge. And AI is not just one way, it will also learn from your patterns and try to suggest better learning outcomes.
right.
So yeah.
So, as you rightly said, this going to optimize the learning process, right? It
Right.
is the right word they have used. So, how the agentic AI is going, changing in
Right.
this process of optimization. So, is there any difference between the AI and the agentic AI process? How do you
Yeah,
see?
definitely. So
Yeah. Mhm.
again, because right now AI is the buzzword, right? So everything attached to AI, people think is just AI, but it's an umbrella term. There's a lot of things under the hood called AI, right? So just to give you a difference of uh, traditional AI learning versus agentic AI learning from an learning point of view, uh, I think traditional AI would have a rule-based fixed pathway, right? I based on certain characteristics, I'll create a rule-based algorithm which will follow that pathway in a very fixed, rigid manner. But agentic AI is something which will self-learn also. It will start to understand your patterns and try to be self-adjusting according to that and build new ways. Like it's a very flexible way. If you're going this way and suddenly you are stuck, agentic AI will learn that okay, this topic is much difficult for that guy. Let me break it down further. So there are many such projects out there who are working on making your learning very flexible. Other ways, it could be like there could be a proactive support and a guidance, not a reactive one. Because so, for example, in our company, we had something called uh, doubts on chats. So whenever you have a doubt, you're gonna type in your doubt, you're gonna take a photo of your mathematical equation or whatever the problem, right? And you upload it. The algorithm will try to answer that. If algorithm answers and you are not very much comfortable, then you can also connect a tutor and get more information about the problem that you are solving, right? So traditional AI is more template based, whereas agentic AI is more dynamic, contextual. So it will keep optimizing as you learn and make your path much easier. So the learning curve is much easy. It's not very steep because there's not a fixed pathway. It is somewhere if you reach somewhere and you are still figuring it out. Uh, agentic AI can give you a better way to navigate that.
Right.
That's what I think is the bigger difference between traditional learning and agentic AI.
Great. The age, I mean, everywhere, they just started seeing some improvements in any, domain like
Right,
market research,
right,
healthcare, life sciences, even
right,
in education. How the revolution is going to be? Is it going to be the adaptive learning process? I mean, as you rightly said, yes, it's going to be a dynamic, it is not going to be the template process of, the traditional AI processes. Instead, it is going to, I mean, you can start anywhere, you can stop anywhere, and it just keep on learning by itself, and it is
right,
giving you, kind of the reinforcement, the
right.
methodology, the learning methodology. Uh, how, maybe in a very, very a simple terms, how the common man they can understand this kind of an approach, and how what would be the impact on their kids learning this is going to make.
Uh, so we always know, right? When we were kids, also there were someone in class who basically lagged in studies, didn't like to study, and there were various reasons, right? Someone just plainly don't like to study, right? They don't want to read, and but there are someone who wants to read, but they find the concepts and frameworks and whatever that is being taught very difficult, and usually uh, they are either shy to raise it among the teachers, students, right? Because someone might say that, oh, you don't even know this much. uh, AI with a personalized learning approach can really help you, you know, in a way where AI is acting like as your personal coach, a mentor. right? And it will basically act as an assistant, coach, whatever word you want to use to help you in that journey. So that's a very simple explanation. Uh, but it's both ways. It's not just about students, it is going to help teachers as well to, and
Right.
also the parents, right? To because it's all outcome based. You can get a good feedback about what your student is learning,
Right.
in that way.
Right.
I hope that answers.
Yes, yes, yeah, I got it. See, many even many teachers will have how to manage if I mean they have the fear. Kind of, I think
Right,
every not only teachers, every field they have the fear factor that my job is I mean my job will exist or it will just
right.
thrown away. I'm seeing from the low level to high level, wherever the hierarchy, just put in. I think because AI just is impacting from the top to, I mean, top to bottom or bottom to top. So wherever you are, AI is there and AI is playing a vital role. So maybe in EdTech, I mean, education, the corporate world, how the impact is going to be. Maybe it is a content creation, or how do you see this kind of a perspective?
So first, I will say in general, my belief is that AI is not going to take your job, but someone who knows AI will definitely take your job. Uh,
Okay,
so so my idea is that AI is not there to replace humans. So there's a very interesting thing, right? My grandfather used to tell me this computer is kind of little bit evil because it's going to take a lot of jobs, but it's going to take job of people who don't know computers, right? Most of
exactly.
and we can see right now with so many devices we still have jobs, right? So
Yes,
similar, AI is not going to take jobs of teacher, especially education is a field where human intervention is very important, right? Because AI is not perfect, right? AI can hallucinate, AI can have biases towards
right.
studying, right? So
Mhm.
it can bring in those things, and the way to safeguard, to have a guardrail, is to have a regular human intervention where you audit the model, how it is performing, to check whether there is any bias towards the learning, things like that, right? So and to just give you an example, like Google has implemented Google Classroom,
Right,
which basically helps the teacher by uh, even checking the assignments to a certain level, like quizzes and all that. It can auto check and reduce the work of a teacher, right? So imagine now if a teacher is there and there is hundreds of students, she doesn't have to check everyone's assignment one by one. AI can basically check those and give feedback. Now teacher has the opportunity to focus more on students who are more lagging behind in their studies or their
right.
syllabus, whatever, right? So it will enhance your job. It will take out the mediating task from the equation and help you focus more on creating an environment for your children to learn better. So
Yeah,
I don't feel AI is going to take your job, but yes, if someone is well versed
exactly.
that
Right,
part is also helping teacher. Like for example, Microsoft has created its uh, for its PowerPoint and a coach where you create your presentation and it will give you a feedback that how is your presentation in terms of sending out the right message, the design element. So things like this are being used to improve your outcomes.
exactly. See, yeah, it's actually, everybody is, asking, this question. I used to give them an answer. There is other question I used to get from a parent side, from a teacher side, including professors, college lecturers. everywhere. I used to travel a lot. I used to go for universities, colleges,
Right.
schools. And this question is about the ethics. Okay. So how, because text to image, text to video, a lot of
Right.
things
Right.
has
Right.
come into place. Is there any kind of a malpractice or from the students? If they misbehave using all these tools, the automated tools, what kind of a things, the environment we are going to set up, and how do we stop this? These questions, I'm frequently getting. So, in your perspective, yeah, how do you see this about the ethics of the AI products and tools?
Yeah, I mean, of course, ethic is a huge concern. Uh, Almost for every industry using AI, right? And right now there's a lot of debate going on. Governments are working on making policies around AI and all that, right? So, uh, yeah, there is a chance. So there's a good video I had actually posted on LinkedIn as well, where Bill Gates is basically answering that same question, like the general question, is AI good or evil? So he said that every technology is like that, right? If it's in a hand of a good guy, he'll use it in a good way. If it's in a hand of a evil guy, he'll use it that way. So, of course, the answer to solve this problem is to have a good ethical framework, a policy, and also and make the student understand that it is for your benefit to use this technology for your advancement, not for just passing an exam or a quiz or an assignment. The goal is not to have this tool to clear a you have a check mark that okay, this thing is done. I'm okay with this now. But it's rather a tool to help you uh, you know progress. So that education to the teachers, to the students, to every stakeholder is very important, that AI is there to help you grow. uh, but if you use it wrong, maybe if you get caught you might be in a trouble, but I don't know how can we stop that. Other than that, we can have policy around it, framework around it, we can have laws around it, but we know people in civilized society also do all criminal stuff even after having a certain law, right? So
Right,
uh, of course there is a limitation to what we can have it as an ethical way of using AI. But the central
right,
point is that you should use AI to grow your career, your knowledge, rather than misusing it and just finding a shortcut to get through an exam.
right. Yeah.
So
So when
onus is
I,
on
yeah,
ourselves. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, thanks for that, detailed response. See, when I just, get into this entrepreneurship and just, coming with a digital platform for education, I recommend, a lot of products to my clients. So at that time,
Right.
2017, 18, 19, for the, all those 3 years, parents were, parents, including teachers, they are just a little bit hesitant. In some cities, fine. Even if we just go tier two, tier three cities, except tier one, they never accept these kind of digital products. Okay, so we had, I
Hmm.
had to spend so much time and, it's not a trying to convince, but they never accept digital as a learning platform. Okay, so somebody is
Right.
coming online and just, somebody is getting,
Right.
trying to teach their kids. And COVID has taught a lesson. So during COVID
Yeah. Yeah.
time, everybody is, automatically they just accustomed to that kind of a learning, the pattern. So the pattern or, the experience gave a lot of, lessons. And still, I can see parents, even the school management, from tier
Right.
two and tier three cities, they are not accepting this kind of a digital products, as their real mentor. So,
Hmm.
how do you, foresee their behavior?
So
Yeah,
if you see, I think the broader question here is that will education be like an online thing in future or class based
Exactly.
or so
Exactly.
my take is that hybrid is the new way, right?
Right.
Even in the corporate culture right now, the question is work from home is better or work from office better.
Right.
I think over there
Right.
also hybrid is a much better way because it gives you personal time, it gives you a lot of flexibility. So in a similar way, education also uh, will have a hybrid approach as the future. Um, of course, you can access online education anytime, anywhere, but the high and especially in the K-12 segment, the hybrid approach is much required because those are growing children and they need a human touch to them. Whereas upskilling, like if you're doing something on LinkedIn Learning or Upgrad or things like that, uh, there it could be more of online, and they have like immersive programs where they call you for a 2-day hackathon and all that, where you meet and network. But primarily, the major program is online. So I think the K-12 would be more of an hybrid uh, approach that will work for them. Upskilling, because that audience knows its way around because it's a working population. They know what to expect, what to do after that particular assignment or not, like what kind of research they have to do to understand a particular concept. Whereas children would need a little push sometimes to study also, right? So
Right.
K-12 hybrid is I think the way forward, and upskilling could be a more of a digital online uh, thing.
Great. Okay. So one last question, before we
Sure.
wind up the discussion. So after the evolution of the large language models, right,
Hmm.
like ChatGPT and others, the other tools are there. And now we are talking about the agentic AI in specific. We are just going in deep, creating a personalized virtual assistant for each and every a segment of our work, or day in and day out, whatever it is. How do you foresee? I mean, what would be the future of the agentic AI models in education?
So, I would like to give you some examples, right? What uh, like people are or the companies are doing, right? So, like if you heard of Duolingo, they have created dynamic learning system while they they have this mascot owl who knows exactly how you're learning, and it actually adjusts as per your time cycle as well, like when you are sleeping, when you are actually opening the app. So it is not only studying your study pattern but your life pattern also, which
Right,
also raises some ethical consideration that there's a privacy issue, data issue, and all that. But again, a good framework policy can help guardrail all that. But these are some interesting developments using this agentic AI format of AI, right? That it is also learning your life pattern, which is
right,
scary, but we are reaching that kind of a sorry, that kind of
it's okay.
progress. So I think the future is bright in terms of uh, curriculum development, personalized learning, assisting the teacher in creating that environment of education, even giving a feedback to the parents, and not just a feedback of whether the student is passing a subject or failing a subject, but more of a personalized recommendation where they have to improve in this certain section, you have to focus on this, right? So for example, uh, IBM Watson Education, right? They have created an AI that can
Right,
actually detect a student's emotion. So if a student is feeling frustrated while learning, it will break down that into smaller nuggets and try to take the student on an easier pathway. So
right,
I think there are endless possibilities, right?
right. Yeah, even what I think, students, they can, if they are very smart, they can just tailor made their own curriculum, right?
I think
Yeah.
we lost
Yes,
connection.
there is here last. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
yeah,
where we lost.
yeah, I think we have got, but there is somewhat. Yeah. So I think the if the student is smart enough, they can tailor made their own curriculum. If Watson, IBM Watson just takes the input as as emotion and just changing their the
Right,
viewpoint. I think if some of the students are smart enough, they can build their own curriculum in future. That is what I
right,
guess.
right. Yeah, and I
Right?
think teachers can also help them, right? It's at
Right.
K-12 level, teachers would be more important because they will be able to better guide them as a student. For a professional, a simple only AI tutoring agent is enough, right? You don't need a
Mm-hmm.
teacher. Of course,
Right.
if there's a need be, you can have an access to a teacher and all that. But yeah, for K-12, it's more important to have
Uh,
both.
Both. Okay. So thank you so much for your time, Sohil. Do you have any last minute or do you have any thought uh,
So, I mean, yeah,
to share?
it was great coming here, talking to you, and I hope we connect again in future and
Yeah,
also
yeah,
discuss behind the scenes the
exactly.
development into education, AI, things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it is.
as far as I think the future of education, uh, it's not just about AI taking over jobs. It's about AI empowering both teachers and students, right? To achieve things we thought never it's possible.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, it's a good times,
Yeah.
I
So
guess,
it's
for the
really nice connecting with you. Like even I'm also into the same kind of field. It is
right,
very rare combination with just meeting a friend like you, and we are just
right,
discussing like it's just very casual discussion and a lot of
right.
inputs we are getting. Thank you so much, and we will see in future how it goes, and we will just meet once in a month or once in a quarter. Let's see.
Definitely.
Few wish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you so much, Sai. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
take
much.
care. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.